as we are moving with this hot discussion of university and his studies, I will appreciate everybody to open their videos and even volunteers, participants, I'll like everybody to open their videos and ask any questions on Parth journey, related to his selection, his choices. So, couple of questions, we can take. Krutika, you are there on the call. So, any questions from this topic on digital marketing, on why we select universities or no? Any questions, guys? In chat, who is coordinating the chat? Krutika, Madwin, you can you check?
Yes. I'm checking on the
Yeah,
chats
we are
from.
checking,
Yeah,
Amit.
yeah.
We
Any
are checking.
questions on university, guys? Open your videos and ask it. So it is not like that we have to, just wait it for the end. So we are going by building the story, how we started his journey and what, learnings we can get. So here we are for the benefits. Be selfish, to be very frank. Ask
I would
questions.
definitely recommend that. Being selfish is the key to your stay in Ireland.
Yeah, that's good. Any questions is okay, welcome. Otherwise, Aditya is having a very, very good discussion with Parth, and please carry on.
Okay, so maybe we can wait for a minute, or I think we have a question from Rahul. What are the opportunities for traditional marketing? Well, actually, those questions are already pipelined, so we'll just move forward instead. I
Yes.
think you should be able to find the answer to that one. Um, is this a good time to apply UCD marketing course? All right.
I would
Um,
strongly recommend UCD personally. Although I've never studied there, but I have been in close contact with people who have studied from UCD. And to be very honest, they have a great set of alumni. In fact, the startup I was working at was also created by an alumni of UCD itself. And UCD will be a great college for you with a great faculty. And I also really like how the society is really empowered all the students to go ahead and start working and embarking on their own journeys. Strongly recommend UCD when it comes to marketing for sure.
Absolutely. Um, that's very insightful for UCD. And maybe we'll start with a few questions that I have for you regarding the career in digital marketing and, of course,
All right.
marketing. So, one big question, like I was always wondered about this, is what's the exact difference between marketing and digital marketing? What does this
So
one word, change all
marketing
about?
has various segments to it. It has various facades. When it comes to marketing, I like to think of it in such a way where essentially we are someone who will be influencing the customers or the businesses to obtain the product or a service. Now it can be applied and went through in varied of courses. The main two, one being digital or traditional. In traditional marketing, a part of advertising does come in, but it also primarily brands on how to create a brand. And it's not segmented essentially just for the digital marketing side of things, but they also look on for various strategies in terms of creating a channel partnership and creating a various modeling of the same. So when it comes to traditional marketing, there are ample amount of scope here. But when it comes to digital marketing, it does increase significantly because that is where the need lies currently. You will see that the marketing spends of huge companies have moved on from news to radio to TV advertisements and billboards, and now they're essentially moving towards the digital space. So while marketing in traditional formats is still quite good and quite scopeful, digital has a bit of an edge, according to me, in terms of the jobs. Because for traditional marketing, you need varied sets of interest and varied sets of knowledge and experience to reach that stage and kill that. But when it comes to digital, it's very easy for freshers to apply and get through to the ideas of how to enter, how to start working, and how to get going.
Mhm. That's an insightful answer. Actually, I had one more question, but you have answered that already. So let's move on to the next one. So, what skill sets do you need to succeed as a digital marketer if you are starting as a fresher?
I would say the soft skills are quite necessary when it comes to always being a quick learner, always being able to adapt to various things. And at the same time, what I find most insightful for myself and really helpful for myself is the possibility to work seamlessly with different teams. So, as a soft skill, if I'm easy to collaborate with, I mean, if I'm easy to talk to, and if I'm also a good communicator, it becomes really easy for me to work laterally across various teams, which helps me understand my role better. Because at the end of the day, when you are working at any company, you would want to provide a good outcome and not just the good role of what you're doing. If I have to increase the marketing spends for one particular product within the, let's say, search marketing, what really happens is that I'll try to increase just the numbers, but it will be better and really interesting for people to understand that why does the business have this current goal for this particular product instead of the other one we have. Once you start understanding where is the business strategy lies at the end of the year, when you are filing your papers for getting your increment and having a performance bonus, all these things help to understand your role better, because now you can do your job better by understanding where does exactly this come from and why does this need for your current task arise from, and that's how you can go a step beyond to help the company reach their shorter goals quite faster.
Yes, so what I understand from what you informed is it's always great to be learning all the time and keep moving forward, keep growing, and do make a note of whatever you have done for the company so that towards the year end it always helps. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Absolutely, I agree with that. So after that, like I would like to ask you about any key recommended digital marketing certifications that you would suggest to our guests today? Like anything they could do?
The certifications depends on which channel of digital marketing you want to venture in. For example, if you're looking for something in the SEO, if you want to kickstart from there, it'll be really helpful if you get the certification done from Google. If you're looking at performance marketing, you would want to understand the entire journey of inbound marketing journey, and HubSpot is the company which started inbound marketing. So getting the course certification from HubSpot for performance marketing is really helpful. So with various channels comes various certifications which are enhancing the entire experience. With PPC, you can do for search from Google and also from Facebook, because they are the major two spends where a company makes in terms of getting a paid ad strategy worked out. And for all the other companies, I would rather suggest that whenever you decide the channel where you want to get the certification from, be email, social media, or affiliates, try finding the company which is at the forefront and which is the market leader, which is recognizable globally, and obtain the certification from that company specifically.
That's interesting. So I'm sure the audience would have noted all this. If not, they can also view the recording later on, and if they want, you can ask them again.
I
And
think
we
one
as
question is there. Somebody has raised his hand. Just ask if you want to open your video and ask is related to industry trends and marketing. Please feel free to open your videos. Volunteers, everybody, I'm requesting again. So I don't know. I can see the raised hand. Who has raised his hand? This anybody name? Madvin, can you see him? Yeah, Satya Narayana, right?
Hi,
Arjun.
this is Arjun.
Yeah, welcome Arjun. Thanks for raising your hands. You are welcome to us in this area. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, first of all, thanks so much for organizing this event, and I think it's very insightful. It's very helpful for people who want to start their career in marketing. My question would be, are there a lot of opportunities here in Ireland for marketing, or be it digital marketing, compared to tech? I've seen people struggling at the end of the day getting jobs. But my case is I have like 3 years of experience in ad sales and business account management. And is there any chance where I can get into tech sales without any experience in IT sales? Thanks so much. This would be my question.
Yes, with that amount of experience and your interest towards the business sales side of things, what would really be helpful is if you go to, there are specific positions like account strategist at Google, which helps for
All right.
B2B sales for various client portfolios. So roles like that in tech giants are quite amazing, and there are plentiful of them. Google has been hiring for a very long time, and the hiring is constantly made for account strategist roles. So you can apply for that.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure. Yeah, sure. We'll be asking more questions, and Bhavi and Anup, who has raised hands. I think let's continue the journey and start, asking questions. Keep pouring on the chat. Guys, give me a sec. Divakar, can you open your videos? Tuti, I'm asking again so we can see you guys. These are the people who are the volunteers, guys. You can ask them questions and raise you in a chat. So we are not in a hurry. If we can start our second part of the event, digital marketing career 2, we'll do next week. But we want to make, best benefit of time. We don't want to rush. There's no hurry worry. We want to ask questions which are helpful, like Arjun has asked. So those objective is thus to get a solution to queries which are real insights, right? So I think I'll give opportunity again to Aditya and start his good discussion and debatable those things. And feel free to open your videos and ask. Please continue, Aditya. Thanks.
Thank you, Amit bhai. I saw Rahul asking one of the questions in the chat, so let's continue with that one. Um, what would be the salary range and salary expectations that one can have, uh, depending on various positions, that is job titles in the field of marketing and digital marketing? And is it easier for anyone to secure a job in any of these fields, or how do they proceed?
I would say having a proactive approach really works better. What I did was I always created pipelines where I created a list of the companies where I'm currently applying. And then based on how it progressed, I also mentioned that I have to follow up here, I have to follow up there. And what are the next possible rounds, and who are the key people who are hiring from the recruitment team and from the marketing team as a hiring manager. And I kept on following up for each and every roles and for each and every companies within the span of 1 week to obtain a response. Having a short yes or a short no is better than sailing right in between where you have no clue if there is an answer coming to be yes or no. And based on that, you can obviously keep on increasing your entire enthusiasm and energy on applying for more and more jobs for which you prefer. Getting a marketing role, getting a marketing job is it's quite easy. The only thing you have to keep in your mind is be proactive and just be relentless in your approach. Whenever it comes to various jobs, try being the first one to apply. At the same time, also what you need to do is try, if possible, try reaching out to someone who would be able to give you a referral. Discuss now started giving a amazing amount of referrals from various companies. Try taking this entire benefit you're getting, and once you have a referral, try applying right away. And then later on as well, try keeping on or following up with the team and understanding that where are you exactly, and try getting feedbacks for each and every interview, be it good or bad. Try getting feedback and try working on it. Only this way you will have at least a practice interview. There have been multiple interviews I've given where I knew even if I get the job, I'm not going to take it, but it was just in a way for me to also practice it by myself, in terms of providing having an interview experience and actually taking all this experience together, bundling them together, and actually acing it in the primary company where I want to go. So all these things will genuinely help you a lot.
Hmm. Absolutely, I agree with that. And for anyone who wanted an answer to what are the salary expectations, it's there on the screen. Um, very insightful from Parth again. He has made this PPT for us, all of you. And then moving
Can you
forward,
please
I
go
think.
back to that slide again for a moment? I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, sure, no
Yeah.
problem. There you go.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, done.
Hmm. And that was majorly about career in digital marketing. Now, maybe I'll ask you a few questions about the job search. So, I think you have already answered this question, like how difficult was it for you to land a job in the specific field you wanted to? So you would
Yes.
say it's more about networking and reaching out to the people rather than just sitting at home creating a CV and applying. So being
Yes,
proactive,
don't
as
be
you said.
really passive with this. Don't be passive. You need a great amount of luck to be successful with your passive job hunt. Another thing which I would recommend is there are multiple meetup groups based on your interests and hobbies, be it professional or personal. Try joining those groups. Go out there, meet those people. Always keep on pitching yourself on how are you here, why are you here, where do you want to go, and let people know where you want to go. Because if someone does find an opportunity for you, and they do remember you from your elevator pitch when they met you sometime at a meetup event, they will definitely hit you up and take you ahead from there. At the same time, with the job searches here, it becomes really interesting for each and every one of them to, since I hope if anyone is a student currently or is soon going to be a student, if you have a specific company in mind, if you have a specific industry in mind, try creating a dissertation focused on that industry or that company. So what it will do is when you are taking interviews, when you're creating and gathering data, what you can do is you can reach out to those companies, the specific hiring managers and your reporting managers who are doing amazingly well in those companies. Reach out to them about about you interviewing them for specific questions you have to put it on your dissertation. This will help you get a foot in the door. And even though the company is not relevant later on as well, it gives you a good foot in the door for various industry as well. For example, I loved the OTT industry. So initially when I was applying, I did not get any jobs back in India because primarily I had no experience with OTT or with marketing as well in my bachelor's. Having a dissertation made for the OTT media really helped me a lot to get my foot in the door for companies like Geo Studios, Amazon Studios, and Hotstar. So that got me a good amount of network right there and then, because I was focused in that particular industry, which made my life a lot more easier.
Yeah, guys, one more request. Just trying to, Anushka has some, questions. She is raising hands. And Bhavin, if somebody will continue our job search strategies and guidance from, Parth and his experiences. If somebody wants to open their cameras, please feel free to ask. I see a lot of hands up there, so I thought to just pause and, request everybody. Without camera, with camera, please feel free to speak up. Thanks. Welcome.
Yeah, I have a question, Parth. Uh, Thank you so much for sharing your experience. That was very insightful. So I have like, similar story like yours. So an engineer, and now like I started my career as a web developer, but for some reason the company got dissolved. I was jobless, and then I switched to digital marketing. Now I have 5+ years of experience. I work as an account manager, good package, but then I'm thinking to pursue my master's career in digital marketing in Dublin, and one I mean I don't think I think it's a stupid question, but
Go ahead.
will this be possible? Will it be possible, to pursue my career and I mean to pursue my studies over there and simultaneously work for the current company also? Like,
Now it depends on your time management skills. I
okay,
personally was doing 2 to 3 jobs where only one paid, but the rest of them gave me an industry experience for which I
okay,
was working for free of cost. I was at that point of time able to manage my time really effectively. When it
okay,
comes to you coming with a huge amount of experience, I guess even Amit, who is currently with us, he has great amount of experience and he came here. I have another friend with me who was in my course. He had 10 years experience in sales, and then he
okay,
pursued MSc marketing with me from Dublin Business School, and currently he is working as a coordinator at Harvey Norman. So that was a
okay,
great jump for him as well. So
okay,
again, for him as well, the faculty helped him to get
okay,
his foot in the door, and then he was able to take it up from there and take it ahead with him. So it
okay,
entirely depends on you. Take a proactive approach and just go with it.
okay. But like, working for some other country in Dublin, like, is it allowed? That is also like, my concern.
That is something I will not be able to. I'm not the correct person to address this question, because
Okay.
when it comes to marketing or managing a time, yes, I can be there to help you. But when it
Uh,
comes to the visa illegalities, I would not be the correct person to help you out here. But I'm sure
Okay.
the community at DISC will be able to help you reach out to the correct person who can
Sure,
address
sure,
it.
definitely. Cool.
Yeah, I can
Thanks a
guide you
lot.
at the end of the event. Don't worry about this question. I can answer
Okay.
it.
Okay. Cool,
Yeah,
Amit.
and guys, Kanika is. I'm just taking one more minute. Please give your feedback. Do you see the link in the chat? We want to connect our discussion with job search insights, but we have a feedback. We want to improve the events, make more productive, more helpful, rather than just some questions. Please see the link in the chat for the feedback. Medvin, can you share again, or Krutika? So guys, please give a second, open it, just quick questions, and we'd like to have you right now for a, just 2 seconds. Can you open the feedback forms? Uh, and in chat, I think it's coming down right now. I'm waiting for the chat. Yeah, we have the feedback form shared by Krutika. She's our active volunteer. She's a super engineer, plus she's doing her masters in BI, and ready to share her knowledge also. Guys, please give a second to support her. She's volunteering for chat. and we are looking for your feedback. Hopefully feedbacks are coming. So it's not the sharing the content and link, but it is about improving ahead of our association and investment of time with the team participants, 50 plus today. I think we are very thankful. And on now I'm again giving Aditya and part to give opportunity to interact and ask difficult questions. Please go ahead.
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
make full use of Parth being here today. um, yes, so as Amit Bhai said, of course, first things to be addressed. If you provide your feedback, it would be handy for us, to take it over to the next events. In anyways, if you think we can improve or something we can add, it's always beneficial to us all eventually. So kindly share your feedbacks. I think Anushka has raised her hand. Does she want to ask a question?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. First of all, thanks a lot for arranging this event. So far, so good. Parth, my story is also similar to that of yours. I am a BTech graduate in 2020, and soon after that, I started working as a marketing professional in Bangalore. And now I'm thinking to pursue my MIM from Ireland. So I just wanted to know, like, what skills can I prepare for well in advance, so that I don't struggle to get a good job there. So what would you suggest, like, for a fresher? I have close to one
Yes.
year of experience now.
All right. When I had a 1 year experience and I was coming here, I thought that I'll be considered as an experienced professional.
Yeah.
But sadly, one thing you need to keep an eye out for is that companies in Ireland would not consider you as an experienced professional. They would only take you as a fresher
Right.
because you primarily do not have the experience within the EMEA region or the Irish market.
Okay.
So until you have over 2 years of experience, they count you as a fresher. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Secondly, when it comes to the skills, I would strongly suggest you to have various soft skills and such prepared, because when it comes to MIM with international management, what would happen is that you would have a gateway to various companies and various specific industries within the marketing, HR, accounting, and sales sides. So
Right.
it'll be easier for you to sway between them and find what is your perfect calling. What do you want to venture into? And the good thing about that is that since you have a very open approach for this, you can have multiple jobs at hand and then decide where do you want to pursue ahead. Because MIM does give you the leverage to move from one particular profession to another quite
Yeah.
easily.
Right. Right.
What specific sector you want to specialize in, select your modules and courses accordingly. So it is
Yeah.
much of a tailored course for yourself based on what you're good at and where you want to pursue ahead. And with skills, let's say if it is marketing, start prepping on for various certifications. So if you see something like if you want to venture into SEO or you want to venture into advertising,
Yeah.
regardless, try finding certifications and start doing it right now. So when you come, you can start applying for jobs. So for all the students coming in for September intake, what really happens is they plan on for applying for jobs at the end of the year. But what is really helpful for them to know is that various graduate programs for various huge companies begins their application for those programs right at the end of September, and the deadlines are within a month or two, but they end by the end of December itself. So as soon as you come, start attending various career fairs and start applying for various graduate programs right away when you come in, so that by the end of the year, when you are graduated, you will already have an offer in your hand pending, and once you graduate, you can begin your role effectively immediately.
Right. Thank you. But I also wanted to know about, like, how the job market is different from that of India. Like, work-wise, also, I wanted to understand. How do you find it different from India, working as a digital marketer in India versus Ireland?
I love the work-life balance you have here. So just with an idea, something like that as of a GDPR, where
Mhm.
every person is given their right to their own information, which is amazingly well done in EMEA regions. And in the same way, the governments here also help you a lot. And the company is also very cool in terms of understanding that you also have your own personal life and you are liable to live it by yourself and have amazing fun at your own time. So as soon as the work does gets done, you can actually go and chill. And people are really effective in terms of not having. So this is something which they do here, which is quite a corporate culture, which was also back in India. But I realized it here because my manager informed me. When it comes to giving feedbacks, the manager always suggested that you don't have to go with the feedback effectively immediately. You can, what they do give you is, sorry for the use of this term, but called a shit sandwich. You start off by praising people, actually give the crux of your feedback, and then again end it on a good note.
Yeah.
And that was really effective for me because I started understanding how people dealt with me, how various clients dealt with me, and people are a lot more honest, and they're a lot more chill, because people have their own personal lives and they'll be living that as well. So when the clock hits 5, if you are happy with your work, you're done, you can actually leave. Work does not follow you back home. Work does not
Yeah.
follow you during the weekends as well, which is something I love about Ireland.
So I think
Right.
that's a quite good
Thank
insight. We are just putting a clock on the discussion. We are 1 hour, on the call.
Yeah.
So we have quickly. I think Aditya will continue. Then, guys, don't worry about. We'll ask those questions. And now, Aditya, let's, because jobs are strategy and styling and failure and success is a last concluding section. Then we'll wrap up with more detailed question and answer. Let's continue, Aditya. I think we'll catch up with more questions.
Yes, absolutely. So that's what I even wrote in the chat. All right. So let's see. What I would like to ask you now is, how do you pitch yourself to an employer for marketing and digital marketing jobs? As you said, you have to be proactive. And all right, I understand what do you mean, but how to do that? What's the process? If you could share it with the guests today.
Yes, as I mentioned during the journey slide, that everyone has their own unique story. Everyone has their own ways of getting around, and no story is better than how the person who has lived it will be able to share. So whenever it comes to this, what I would suggest is that create a good journey path for yourself. Try to understand what the company is finding for you. Try to understand what is the major need for that role. Is it a newly made role, or has someone left the company and they're trying to replace that with the new person who is going to join? Try understanding where the role is arising, where the need of the role is arising in the company. And as soon as you have it, start creating a good elevator pitch by practicing it with numerous people around you. So what I used to do was, I used to go to various pubs. I used to meet numerous people. I used to go to various meetups and always keep on introducing myself with varied formats. And based on how people reacted and how people continued the conversation from then on, I took few mental notes for myself that okay, these pointers together work quite a lot for me. This is something which does not give a good feedback, or people just want to shy away from the conversation. Get this all together, weave it into a good backstory for yourself, and this is the way you will have a good elevator pitch. And now you connect it with the job and role. So as soon as you see a job role, you will see the entire job description, the skills which is required, your responsibility for the role, and where the company is coming from. Try to incorporate that with your own elevator pitch, and this will be a very good segmented and a highly targeted elevator pitch to send ahead to the recruitment person, or also to the hiring manager who is going to take this role forward. So if you apply for the role, as soon as you're done applying on LinkedIn or Indeed, try finding them on their LinkedIn, and send them an email, send them a message. And if possible, what you can also do is try sending emails to the talent teams of the entire company. For example, careers at the rate companyname.com. These group emails are something which people always look out for, and the HR has to reply you regardless of however you applied. So this will help you put your application in the right queue at the right time, in front of the right person, so you'll always have a feedback. So create your elevator pitches accordingly based on the need of the company and what does your part of your journey represent to them. This will be a good way to show that you are essentially made for the company. Your skills are cut out for the job. And this is what will help you get hired very easily.
Hmm. I understand from what you say is, try to align your experience to what the company needs and try to explain them what you can do for them rather than what you know or what you have done previously. Is that like something what you're
Yes.
trying to say?
Yes.
All right, perfect. And after that, I have one more question. Like, what would be the effective job search strategies and what platforms you can use to find jobs? Or do you rather prefer only going through the referrals, or just approaching the HR recruiters on LinkedIn? What would be the best strategies?
I'm quite shameless as a person. What I do is I'm very proactive when it comes to this. As soon as I see a role, I directly apply. So for me, I was looking initially for internships. I was looking at angel.co. But when it comes to full-time jobs, the for me personally, I don't think I had that a good story to say initially when I walked in to Ireland to finding a job with the graduate programs. So I shied away from that. But as soon as that got done, I started applying with Indeed and LinkedIn with various CV formats. And as soon as I started getting a specific amount of reply for a specific format of the CV, I started building upon that. And when it came in through, I started applying online. And then I started reaching out to the person who posted the job. And I sent him a personalized invite so that they can not only receive my connection request, they can also see a short pitch, which I'm doing for myself and for the role. If I do not get a response from them, I reach out to the person I feel would be the hiring manager or the teammate who can provide me with a referral. If that also does not pan out, what I do is there are various websites like hunter.io, and where you can find out the email of anyone or at any company. For example, if you just enter the company's name, they'll show you the syntax of how their company emails are like. For example, if it's first initial last name at that company mine will be P Parekh. So with the person on LinkedIn you look out for, you can use their names and you can use the syntax of how their company emails are, and you can directly reach out to them on an external email with your cover letter, with your story, with your pitch, and with your CV. I did all these things at once, and based on how people perceive, they liked it, they did not like it, but I always had a response, and I always had feedback handy. I would suggest the same.
Well, that looks quite a strategy, very good strategy
That's
to
quite a
find
task.
jobs
It's
in
quite a
Ireland.
task. It,
Yeah,
it does take a good amount of time, but it is all worth it.
it's all worth it in the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfecto. So you have okay. One more question, which brings me to the interview and things. So, assuming you got an interview, what would be the tips and tricks that you would give to our guests today on acing the interviews and landing a job?
I guess the confidence and what I've realized is that there were various interviews where I knew I had a great experience. I had the great skill set for the particular role, and I can ace it. But going through the interview was a difficult part for me. And while doing the same, what I started understanding was that for getting the first few sets of minutes in your own court is quite important for you. Luckily, I was also doing improv comedy and open mics in Dublin. So I knew that when I enter the stage, I have to take the first 1 minute and get the audience on my side. So I get more applauses. I use the same effective strategy on the interviews as well. In the first minute or two, I try to win the recruiter who is there. So even if I do fumble somewhere, even if I do not lack, if I lack a certain set of experience which is needed for the role, I can be honest. But since the recruiter likes me, I will still be put on for the next stage. You need to try winning the person who's interviewing you, and as soon as you have that confidence right at the beginning, I'm sure you that the entire interview, maybe for 30 minutes or even for 1 hour, you'll be able to get through very easily.
Absolutely. So I would also like to ask you, like, if you are in an interview, how should be the environment over there? Do you want to make it very serious, or is it okay to be a little bit funny, cracking jokes in between, so that you can create a bond with the recruiter somewhere? Does it
I
work
try
every time,
sensing the
or?
room. I try sensing the room. If there is someone who is wearing a suit and a tie and a blazer and is looking quite very professional and very serious, I
Mm-hmm.
would kind of shy away from jokes. I'll be very formal, but keep it a bit light, because that is what I want to show from my own side of communications. That when you hire me, this is what I am, this is who I am. I like to make things not monotonous. I like to have a good amount of roller coaster going on in the journey. So I personally, being also an open micer, I try to bring laughter, I'll try to bring humor in the conversation by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it also luckily works out for me, because as a marketer, what they look out for is the right attitude and the right mindset. So not taking things very personally and being able to joke about yourself takes in a good way for a interviewer, that this person can take feedback really well, and this
Mm-hmm.
person can be critiqued, this person can be molded like a clay. which is what they look for. So I would say keep it light, keep it good, so that you don't feel stressed out. If it becomes really aggravating and aggressive because of all the tremendous amount of pressure you might feel, will only make you more and more hesitant to respond to various queries which comes in. But with a happier heart, with a lighter mood, you'll be much more free and you can do your out of box thinking. You can go ahead taking the next step.
Absolutely. Being in your own free space can be really handy. So you rather recommend everyone to be as genuine as they are, like who they are in
Yes.
the interviews, rather than trying to be someone they are not.
Yes, I would genuinely suggest the same, because at the end of the day, you also have to look out for your own work-life balance. You have to be happy at where you're working. You have to be happy with the people you're working with. If
Mhm.
they think initially that you are someone who is very, really in a uh, serious mood, who is very serious all the time, and then you start making jokes, they don't feel that, okay, this was not the person I hired, and which
Right.
brings into a different conversation later on. But if they do know who you are and where you're coming from, it becomes really easy for you to get along with your manager and your co-workers, because this is where you have been introduced through, and now you can stumble across and have a good crack.
Amazing, amazing. So, well, that was pretty much what I had for you, and maybe now it's the time for the Q&A from the
Sure.
audience today. I'll stop sharing my hold on. I'll just show everyone the thank you slide, of course.
We
Thank you,
can do
everyone.
the yeah. Thanks, Aditya. Thanks, Parth. And I think Medvin, would you like to take the questions from the chat, or and let's guys or Aditya, anybody who wants to take questions from the chat or speak up, open your videos. Now we are stuck on 1 hour. We are in discussion. We were expecting maximum 1 hour, but we are ready to welcome more questions. We have in chat. If somebody wants to like speak up, yes, you have written. We can see. We are checking your questions. But we would like to give opportunity to everybody.
Yeah.
So I think
Parth, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So I'm thinking to, I have I've applied to Dublin colleges as well, and there's one more college in Cork, MIT. So what would you recommend? The marketplace, and how Dublin is different from Cork, and will Cork have more opportunities for me, like as a digital marketeer? So what are you going to recommend? What are
Well,
views?
that depends. For example, for me, I find Cork as a beautiful place. I love going to Cork and traveling there during various weekends. But when it comes
Okay.
to jobs, this is the person I am. That Dublin lifestyle does suit me, and the kind of companies I want to work for are based out of here as well. At the end of the day, there are major companies that are hiring people remotely. So regardless of where you are based, you will still be able to work. But what I would rather suggest is, when you go through different courses, look at the course modules and the course structure.
Okay.
What do you like more about things? What do you think which will be helping you grow more? Try finding the perfect course structure for you and opt for that university, because later on as well, if while you're there in Cork, while you apply to various companies, I mean, Apple is in Cork.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
applying
I know
there,
that.
if you
Mhm.
find a role in Dublin and a high help you move from one place to another, then you can settle in Dublin. If
Okay.
remote working is not a possibility, or if you want to work in the office. So look
Okay.
forward initially for your course, what you want to study and how you want to study, and later things will definitely follow.
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I would like to add something to
Aditya,
that.
yeah, Aditya, you would like to take questions from the chat, or
Sure.
let's come on
Yeah.
the questions. Kashish has question. Would you recommend somebody wants to take a water break? Please take a break. 60 minutes is
Surely.
very long enough. It's not that. Anybody wants to open their mic, camera, speak up will better. But we are going through questions. Would you recommend
Yes.
digital marketing over traditional marketing? That is a question from Kashish. Kashish, if you are there, please be online, speak up, or show your video, anything you want. Parth, you want to reply for that? Would you recommend digital
Yes.
marketing over traditional marketing? She's trying to, figure it out, which is better.
Recommendations never really work out for the same. For example, initially when I was coming through, I wanted to work more within the traditional marketing space, in the branding space, uh, getting away a bit from the digital medium. But I could not. I generally could not be away from digital, because it was what helped me get a job very easily. and it was what also helped me move through various career progressions. So digital was that for me, but in terms of your own personal preferences and your personal needs, traditional can also be better for you. I mean, from digital, I'm my own progression path in the specific way. I'm planning to move from a marketing role in digital medium to a product marketing role, which I have already done my jump, and now I want to move towards the product manager space. So this pathway helped me to reach that stage.
You are trying to come to my digital space.
When I was doing engineering, as an engineer, we go to all the possible mediums we can. You see many engineers who
Absolutely,
have
I
moved to
agree.
marketing.
So
You see,
let me read
engineers.
any questions. Aditya, you want to take questions or anybody who wants to take questions?
Yes. No, I'll carry on.
Aditya, sorry guys, Kritika has sorted out the questions from the chat, so
Sure.
she also
Ritika, speak
kind
up. No worries. We'll mute our mics.
Perfect.
okay. Yes. Hi Kritika, you can just go up the questions and discuss it with Parth also, and even anyone we can, if we can answer the questions, it will be perfect. Yeah.
Well, if she's not here, maybe I'll take a question. So there's this question from Rahul. I have done MBA in India and currently I'm working and I'm planning to do MBA in Ireland. So that would be his second MBA. He's asking like, is there anything related to dual MBA concept over there, and what's the probability of uh, it affecting him in the career?
I know people who have done dual MBAs, who did their MBA initially in India and then they did here. I know people who have moved from US and Canada to Ireland doing the second MBA here as well. It does not
Mhm.
really matter. It depends on how you're weaving the story, how you're taking it ahead. If you have a good reason for doing it, if you're able to convey that to your employer, I do not think that would be an issue. But find out what your reason for doing the second MBA is. Is it just to move the country? If yes, there are other options which you might want to consider as well.
Perfect. Thank you. I hope that answers your question, Rahul. And I'll take another question from Malaika, I guess. She said, sorry, I'm traveling right now. So she has just written in the question. She asks, was it a challenge understanding the consumer behavior in Ireland as one as okay, and was 1 year of studying masters in marketing? Does that make you ready for your career in digital marketing?
All
Like,
right.
are you
So I'll answer the latter initially. So I had two options: either doing MSc Digital Marketing or doing MSc Marketing. As I mentioned, I wanted to move ahead in the traditional marketing space and in the brand space. So I did MSc Marketing, but it did take few components in my elective modules in the digital marketing space. I had a good amount of knowledge and experience because of my own proactive way of learning things. So I was able to go through with the digital marketing by itself. But when it comes to the same, the teachings in Ireland are less about spoon feeding and more about self learning. They will give you various materials, they'll give you various tools. Are you able to use it is entirely your call. One of the assignment which my faculty provided was addressing your first question of for consumer behavior. One of the first session of my marketing course from one of the faculty was to take us to various parts of Ireland in the Grafton Street and understand how are they marketing, how are they planning, and how is their retail experience like, and creating differentiating factors from the same. That is when I realized the consumer behavior of about the Irish market here with various segments of people and how are various brands differentiating their audiences and segmenting them accordingly. And because of certain experiences like this, it was quite easy for me to understand the Irish market. On top of it, I also did numerous part-time jobs in various industries. I was also doing working as a on contract for a particular doctor for their social media efforts. So I had all these different industries which I had gathered, where I was working part-time, either by receiving some amount for the same or doing an unpaid internship. But this is what helped me understand the entire consumer behavior of people in Ireland. I hope that
that's
answers your question.
Yeah, I hope that answers her question. Absolutely. And I think Kritika is back, so I might hand
Yeah.
over everything back to her. Over to you, Kritika.
Yeah, I have one question from Swati. So she's currently working as manager in outbound marketing company. So she's mainly working for B2B and B2C. So she's asking for coach suggestion to get an opportunity to work in Ireland.
So you can apply directly for jobs here. If you apply for big companies or startups at their early stages and connect with those founders, it'll be easier for you to create a relationship where if you are really able to fuel their growth, find out what their needs are, and try to fill those voids within the company and their processes, they would be very happy to sponsor your visa directly. I started working with people I met at various meetups where they directly applied from India and elsewhere as well, and they got the jobs and they have moved here. The company was really happy to sponsor their visas. So it's, if with that amount of experience, you have an option about your way to channel your entrance into this country. Either you apply for a course and you come through, or you can also apply for jobs directly. Whatever works better for you, but possibilities are endless in both the manners.
Okay. So there is one question from Bhavi. So what would advice would you give to someone who is in the last 9 months of 1G visa, and I don't have an experience in India as I came here directly after my bachelor's, and I am
So,
still looking for an opportunity.
so if that is in the marketing sector, what I would say is initially do not go out for getting the huge, bigger salaries and bigger paychecks. I know people here would have their friends in the tech industry, and they would obviously get jobs which are paying a lot more higher initially for the same. But avoid all those things and remember what you're here for. You will start small, but over a time you'll earn the interest, you'll earn the entire experience, which will help you fuel your own growth and be able for you to, and you'll be able to obtain your visas accordingly. So initially start off working in a minor sector where you will be more of an apprentice or an intern. Don't be very shy regarding the same. Just go and get the job where you are able to find a role where if it does not even pay you, you can at least work part-time there and gather that experience needed. I did multiple unpaid internships, which is what got me the entire experience, and I could ask for a higher paycheck at the end after getting and slogging all this life through. So feel free to get an unpaid internship or a less paid internship, and you will still be able to get that role created for you and gather that experience to obtain a bigger job at a bigger position. I hope that addresses your question, Bhavi.
Yeah. There are two more questions. This one is from Naveen. Are there enough programmatic advertising and e-commerce marketing companies in Ireland, as there isn't a third-party platform like Amazon for marketing yet?
Yes, there are. In fact, in both the ways, in both the possible ways. I do not have much of an experience in programmatics, sadly. That's where I want to venture into as well. But sadly, as of now, I do not have much of experience into programmatic. But based on my own experience with various industries as well, if there is an ample amount of growth, if there is ample amount of vacancies for various positions in that own domain, it is easier to get a job. At the same time, if there is a lesser scope, if there is less amount of positions opening for a particular company or a particular kind of a role, the salaries for that will be higher. So the only thing differentiates is the competition in terms of saturation. So regardless of that, if you really have that amount of experience and if you really want to grow further, you can be really targeting that entire domain by itself and try hitting that spot. If that does not work out, at the same time, also start applying for other roles apart from programmatic within the marketing field. So while you still have the other work, you can continue applying on the programmatic side of things. I hope that
Kritika,
answers the
Okay.
question.
yeah,
Yeah. One last
we have.
question.
It's great. I was asking how many questions are left.
Yeah, one last question.
No,
Yeah.
keep going on. Yeah. So we are ready to answer. Then we'll close up, wrap up. No worries.
Okay. One last question of the session. So this one is from Anup. Being a digital marketing professional since last 3 years in e-commerce company, is it mandatory to take a course in Ireland to work in Ireland, or are there any direct options that would help me to start my career in Ireland without a course?
Oh, you can definitely apply for the jobs directly. Or it is not mandatory for you to pursue your master's here or your education here in order to obtain a role here. you can actually come directly by applying for various companies. And although since in this particular format, interviews might take 1 to 2 months easily, but that time will be paid off very quickly, because while you are interviewing, they will be looking after all your queries, and you will be quite happy in terms of getting a job here coming directly, not going through the education pathway.
Guys,
I
I
think
think
that's
that's a good question. Aditya, would you like to share some thoughts, or we are waiting for feedback still, guys? I think we'll pause for a second. Let's take a water break and try to conclude. And
I
uh,
would like to address one thing particularly.
yeah,
So
sure.
marketing by itself falls under both the working visa permits, also in general work permit and also in critical skills work permit. The only differentiating factor here is if your company is eligible and what kind of a title you do have. So I guess Anushka initially asked about international marketing. International marketeers by itself falls under the critical skills permit. But if I was supposed to work for a hospitality sector and not be getting a specific amount of salary, I would fall under. And if the company is just within Ireland, I would fall under the general work permit. So I guess Amit and the team will be able to share the particular link of the site, where you will be able to understand on how will your job title and your company's work resemble into each other, and how will you be able to form under various work permits. For a tech-based company and B2B sales, IT sales, and pharma, medical devices, all these things does fall under the critical skills work permit. So when you are finally trying to obtain a job, while both the visas can work for you, critical visa will give you an easier pathway ahead. Try finding a job which falls under critical visa if possible, so that it is very easier for you to get through the roles and also get to the next visas which comes ahead. So be really mindful and be really aware about the eligibility of the companies as well when you're applying for roles.
Great part. Aditya, you want to add anything?
no, just I would agree with
Sure.
Parth what he said right now, and yeah, back to
So,
you,
guys,
Amit.
thanks a lot. We would like to thank first of all our participants, and we are trying to as you see, sorry, I was on mute. Uh, so what we did today is particularly focus on digital marketing. As you know, it's related to IT and non-IT both areas. So we are looking for around, specific focus areas of learning, how we can grow our careers and how we can catch into the, digital pathway, and a lot of opportunities with IT, non-IT companies across Ireland. I think Parth has real insights. He has varied journey and flavor of experiences that gives you quite answers. And we'll be sharing these videos a little bit added sort of on our YouTube channel. Can somebody share the YouTube channel link, guys? Please subscribe. And I would like to thank first our all volunteers, all our stakeholders, you know and Parth especially, because took his opportunity on the Sunday. And all volunteers are working past from 1 week to plan everything. And we'd like you to invite for volunteering also, because this is a community based and we are building it. So guys, please share the again links for volunteering, for subscribing to event. And we will be here. Anybody wants to ask question regarding volunteering or anything, they can stay. This event just will be 5 minutes more live. And now Parth will take a break. Aditya has spoken too much. They need more natural breaks. So I think we should thanks everybody, not even our participants, volunteers, and every team. Is a joint team effort across cultures, across regions, different time zones. A lot of people are in India also. And I would like to thank again, our volunteers and Parth. And please open your cameras. Any question regarding to job opportunities, visas, in generic, you can ask right now also. And as already regarding to the volunteering, or if you want any help in terms of questions or visa, speak. And giving a brief about myself and our team, I think now Mohan is there. Mohan, can you share the presentation of our DASC? We are just waiting. Parth, if you want to drop, you can drop. And thanks a lot. We are just trying to conclude, have a feedback from the link. Normally we used to have less feedback because we used to share the link in the last, right? Most of the people leaves.
Yes.
But we are also learning, let's share the feedback link in the initial, and let's get feedback. So I think we are pouring, Kritika is pouring up all the links. Please connect on LinkedIn is a group that we are reaching up around 3,000 people. And a lot of recruiters, you put your LinkedIn profile there, put that I'm looking for a job. So a lot of recruiters, who are already on the group will catch you. Put your hashtags there. And on coming months, we are planning for, special events for volunteers, how to market your LinkedIn profile and get networking. I'll be taking that session. Yes, and we do plan a lot of events, social catch up for volunteers. I think other link is she's pouring up. Keep checking for the feedback. Yeah, LinkedIn group. We have got YouTube channel. So last year we have 2021 as we started Industry Connect. We have around 6 events as Mohan has showed up. Mohan, you wants to share the PPT again? Don't worry, Mohan. Please show up if you have that screen now. Your bandwidth is okay. For DASC.
Am I audible
So
now?
we are just just share the presentation. We are wrapping up and just waiting for any questions or anybody wants to ask who are there in the still 8 people there. And if they want to, and we are just wrapping up and waiting for more feedbacks or the chat session we have. So I think thanks everybody for taking this initiative and see the chat section. Great. Great. These are the feedbacks again. People who are left, we will share you with your email also this feedback link. And guys, now we want to wrap up as Mohan is just presenting the final screen. See, these are the our volunteers. You can put a full mode of the presentation. Yeah, no worries. So we are just wrapping up and closing up. So these are the topics we discussed. You will be finding on the YouTube channel. Kindly subscribe as Krutika and other volunteers have shared the link. Yeah, you can show the 6 events that we have.
I mean, just had one query. Nothing
Yeah,
related to
sure.
this thing. DISC is a non-profit organization, or how or it has some business model?
Yeah, good question. So what we have currently, DIC is a non-profit organization, and we are having a business model in terms of our employment support services, which is Industry Connect is one of the initiative. And second initiative, we
Okay.
have e-referrals, and where we give
Okay.
e-referrals and mentoring to the people. So these are 2 initiatives that we are running, regularly. And in terms of
And
monetary and
in case we want to I'm so sorry to cut you. Yeah, please go on.
no, please carry on. Yes,
Yeah,
Rahul,
so
please ask.
I wanted to ask that in case we want to use this network to find a job in Dublin or Ireland, so how do we proceed with it?
Sure. I think Aditya, anybody can share the from the website the e-referral process. So who is a member
Okay.
of DISC, they want to get a e-referral for the job leads. You can directly approach to DISC. Then we have a process there. You can do it, right? Currently
So
we
we
have
can
around
directly
20.
message
Yeah.
on the LinkedIn group.
Yes. Once you are a member there, so just see your chat. For the e-referrals, you have a
Yeah,
section there.
I'm a member since around a year, but I don't know how to do it.
Sure. So
Okay,
what
so
we do? Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'll speak now maybe. So what I was trying to say here is for the e-referrals, how it works is we have about 20 companies registered as of now with DISC, and if you find a job role or job opening in those companies, you can just go to our website portal of e-referrals,
Okay.
and then over there, yes, you can choose the company and paste the link of the job, and you can upload your CV and answer a few questions that we have posted over there. And once you submit the application, the team will review, and if you seem to be a perfect match, one of the person in our community who works for that company will be able to refer you.
Okay, got it.
Rahul, I have shared the link in the chat. Let's
Yes,
go
yes,
through it. Yeah, don't worry about. And you join WhatsApp group. Medvin and Priyavrat and Ankit manages a lot of WhatsApp group. We have 3, right? So
okay.
you can chat on WhatsApp group. Some of the groups are just already full. So once you start interacting, don't worry about. Just communicate through our email ID. Medvin or anybody
Okay.
can share the email ID, also Gmail. If anybody can share the
So
Gmail ID.
So I would like to introduce myself. So basically, I am currently in India, and I've not taken admission into any college. So I'll be coming in Ireland on 8th of February on dependent visa. So my
Yeah.
wife is already working in Ireland, and so I'll be coming there on 8th of Feb. And I have around 5 years of experience in traditional marketing across various sectors in India. So I was skeptical that I have hardly seen any traditional marketing roles as of now in terms of job portals wherever I have visited.
Rahul, yes, we can connect offline with Parth and other. Myself also, I have a little bit experience in this area. You are welcome to
Sure.
connect with this head. And DIC referrals is not just only a CV forwarding game. It's a mentoring and suggesting you the right path. And
Okay.
opportunities are there. Quick answer to your question. Lot of marketing
Cool.
opportunities are there. India CV is different. Ireland is different. We need to show the depth
Right.
here, not the width. In India you show the CV width, here we show the CV depth.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So guys, I think
Then I'll.
yeah, please Rahul, connect ahead, no worries. I think on the
Sure.
link I have shared, we have email ID there. You want to connect ahead, we try to response on weekends as everybody is working.
Yeah.
And yeah, and any questions we have, please keep in through email, but already Medvin has shared. And we like to thank everybody till end of the event. And I think now we like to close. Have a nice weekend and thanks for attending.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.